So what's going on, guys? It's Captain America. Hope you guys are well, and thank you for joining on the channel. So before we get started, I want to change it around a bit. Want to showcase the stats for this game and my stats as well. So as you can see, I had 12 possessions won overall in this match. I've lost only one. I was insane in this game, honestly. Like, this was one of my best games so far. I had a 10 out of 10 rating as well. The total tackles I made was 6, and I think it was 67% tackle accuracy as well. So overall, you know, the playstyle that I was playing within this game specifically was just, it was on another level. Like the enemy, thinking about Call of Duty, the opponent, the opposition, they did not have a chance against me, the two strikers. But again, we didn't have many players on. It was quite late at the night. Yeah, just enjoy the game. It's a fantastic game. It's 2-0, but it was quite close at some points. You know, they did hit the crossbar, or the post, sorry, the opposition team later on in the second half. We just squandered our chances, and that's something that I really did not like about this game. Like, we were getting into the box, but we would just do some useless pass where it was unnecessary, and you know, the player himself should have just shot on goal. And this is something that we've been discussing internally as well within the team, just saying, look, we need to just be a bit more decisive, and just go for a shot, man. Not to get scared. Like, you know, we overpass it just a bit too much. Like, don't get me wrong, we've been doing some really good passing, but it's just sometimes we just do too much, and that's what happens. We just we just freeze, and then it gets to a tight game, and then we concede for no reason when we've been dominating the entire games. But this game overall, you know, we were dominating the entire match. They did have some really close chances, but just check out how, you know, my positional awareness was, you know, the way I was defending. They did not have a chance. And again, I did score later on in the second half. Like, I think it was in extra time. Like, it's really funny, this match generally, because our first goal was in extra time of the first half. I think it was like on the 46th minute. And then we scored the second goal, the final goal, I think in the 92nd minute as well. So both of them being in extra time. And this was my first goal for the club. So I was well happy, especially as it being a header. I rarely like going up for headers, like when it's a corner or even like a free kick. I prefer to like stay back, because the way I use my controller, it's more like the Pro Evo days. So I don't use, the analog, I use the D-pad to move around, and then I've got the square shoot and circle as like slide tackle and whatnot. So I've been a Pro Evo controller guy since the Pro Evo days. I started off with Pro Evo when I was a young kid, and then I moved over to FIFA once it started getting very arcadey, you know, Pro Evolution. But I haven't been back to Pro Evo since then. It's just been more FIFA. And it's a bit disappointing because they haven't done much in Pro Clubs, FIFA, with any developments as such. So I just always preferred playing Pro Clubs, and you know, this is the way that I play with the controller. You know, it's like the Pro Evo style. So yeah, I could. Also, just thinking about it, I actually wanted to do a controller display, so at least you could see the way that I'm moving around in the game. So this is something I'm looking at setting up for the upcoming video. So just hopefully that will be a good little enablement within the bloody phones texting during the video. So hopefully the controller display, will be good in terms of a learning on how I play during the match. I am quite manual. I know a lot of the centre back defenders, they use this L1, as I use on my controller, to automatically navigate or position as per the AI of where you need to be on the pitch. But I rarely use that. It's always manual the way I play. And again, on my past videos, I'm thinking about creating like a let's say completion, and then going through my defensive stats, the traits that I use as the centre back, and the heights and all this as well. So that will be a video that I'm looking at doing very soon, as well as a video on the club itself, our stats, and let's say the titles that we won. And then some of the team player, let's say, stats as well. So at least you can see how many clean sheets I've had, for example, within the club, and so on. But again, you know, we are still trialing a lot of people. We've had a slight bad run at the moment that we're going through, but you know, let's see how it goes. Like, in general, when I am playing at the moment, we're not playing as great as we should. Again, it's just with the overpassing. But within this video, we are fighting for Division 1 title again. We've won it many times. So yeah, let's see how it goes within the journey. Um, but yeah, also I want to discuss like the games that happened yesterday, especially in the Premier League. You know, we're looking at the relegation battle being so close. We've got the likes of Burnley, as well as Leeds now fighting for the final, let's say, spot of the relegation battle and who's going to be staying up or whatnot. Everton made a very close escape yesterday. I don't know if anyone watched the game, but second half was just it was really intense. But again, Everton shouldn't be in this state. They've always said that they're bigger than Liverpool and they've always been like a top 8 club or whatever it is. But they've overbought, like over the past years. They've been overspending on aged and useless players, and that's something that we've seen, especially with the turnover that they've had with the managers. They're doing like a Chelsea at the moment, where they've had new managers more than they've had like signings, let's say, or whatnot. But yeah, let's see. Frank Lampard, since he's come, he's done an all right job. But I think now he's gonna have a full season to himself. He had a motivation that he had to pitch to the team, which is don't get relegated. So it was an easy task, let's say, for example, for the team to be motivated not to get relegated or spanked, according to that. But now with the new season coming, whenever it's going to start in August, let's see what his method of style of team talk as well as team play will be, because I think potentially he will lose Richarlison, because he's been at Everton for a while now, and I think he's had enough of the the crap that they've been going through with the team. It's just been hilarious to watch for as let's say a Liverpool fan. I really hope that they got relegated. I really did, because they yap too much. So let's see. They've survived for now, but it'll be interesting to see what let's say Frank Lampard does, and during the transfer window as well. But with the game itself, there should have been against Crystal Palace a red card. So it was a game where Crystal Palace were winning 2-0. And then there should have been a red card for the Crystal Palace player. The way that he tackled the Everton player was I think it was above the ball, like close to the knee. So I don't know how he got away with a yellow card. I think it was Decore was it Decore? No, I don't know who the hell it was at Crystal Palace. But yeah, it wasn't great. But then overall, Everton were lucky not to score more goals. I think they played very well. They were quite lucky in general when they were going up front and getting those final balls in. They were just chipping it in as such and getting those balls. But it was a close call with it being 3-2. GG's to them. And then you had the counterparts, Burnley, that were, or as we are now, knowing that they're fighting for the relegation battle with Leeds. Aston Villa, they're so silly, man. I had a bet on that they would win the actual match. But again, with the tight fixture that they have on Sunday against Man City, they had to rest, some players. But overall, they were dominating that game. Like Burnley did score, let's say, a goal, which was alright. Don't get me wrong, but generally in that match, if you look at the stats or whatnot, Aston Villa, they dominated, but Pope kept Burnley alive. Like, he's a fantastic goalkeeper, and I've always rated him. Always, even like in Burnley, or even like when he was playing for England, but he rarely gets a chance over Pickford, which I don't understand why Pickford gets chosen. Maybe it's his long kicks or his, dinosaur arms, but I really don't understand why Pope, who's much more better in like one-on-ones, who's not over dramatic when he dives as well. He's just a good, solid goalkeeper. He reminds me of Foster in Southampton in the Celtic days. How much of a beast he was against the likes of course, Barcelona, but then the other teams in Champions League, they were just phenomenal. Celtic with the goalkeeper that they had. And he reminds me of like the way Pope plays, so I do feel that Pope should be England's number one. I've always said it for a while, especially with what they're doing with their budget compared to like the likes of Everton, who've should be doing much better. But yeah, they're not doing so much. So Pickford hasn't been a great choice for me this year. But let's see what happens in the Qatar World Cup. I think it'll be really interesting. But I do feel Southgate, again, very similar to the other past English managers. They usually go for names than players that are in form. But let's see. I think McGinn should be how do you say it, like in the English squad. No, not McGinn. Sorry, bloody hell, I'm tired. Who's that bloody player now? I can't remember on top of my head. Bloody hell, I made a little blunder, you know that, on this video. Who is it? Oh, I can't remember now on top of my head. But yeah, me blabbering on now. Sorry about that. But yeah, so let's see what happens with the English squad. I think it'll be really interesting. With the players that Southgate chooses, he has been doing really well with like some selections based on inform, but of course he does have some that he still keeps on that haven't done much, let's say, within the club side of things. So let's see. But as mentioned in my previous video, I am a German fan, and I am looking forward to seeing how we progress within the World Cup group stages. I just hope that we don't get baptized, especially how the form has been over the past major, let's say, tournaments that we've been going through. So let's see, it'll be really, really interesting. But yeah, I think that's it really with this video. I just didn't want to blabber too much. I know, overall this match was a very good match generally. The way that I played was one of the best games so far for the club. But again, I do prefer there being like 11 on 11. Just recently we were playing 11 and we were just waiting for a normal game. It wasn't like a league friendly or anything like that. It was just a general pro clubs division 1 matches. But when we have a full team, it just takes so long to find a game. I just really don't understand like why it takes so long just to find a match. Like we wait at least 15 minutes just re-lobbying, we're changing the outfits or whatnot, changing the cup type just to refresh, within the game itself. But it just never finds a game, and it's just really disappointing. That they should get more, let's say, I don't know, like just do like like a filter, like if it's not four, but let's say make it a bit fair, like if it's 5+ players in the opposition team, just to make it a bit more easier. It's just we need to go for an any, for example. We need to do something else just to enable that 11 versus whatever the team is. And for us, it's important that we have 11 players on, just trying to see who's playing what position, if they're ideal in that position. Goalkeeper is always the hardest one to find. So hopefully, we get a solid goalkeeper, because at the moment we've got a midfielder that's in goal at the moment. So let's see. But yeah, even like just generally, 11 aside is just better the way that I find the gameplay, because again, you're not going to rely on the AI overall, and player on player they do make like human errors as such, so it's always easier, or not easier, but it's just you could predict what they're going to be making as a centre back. So that's why I do prefer like playing with like against let's say a full team as such. But yeah, we're trying to find more individuals or more teams for that, so let's see what happens. But yeah, thank you so much for staying on all the way. We are doing the best that we can with this 5th video as a daily upload, and yeah, we're doing well. I'm glad that we're keeping this progression up. And those that like this type of commentary, and with the little update that I done at the beginning of the video with the match stats at the beginning instead of at the end, I think that may have a positive, let's say, impact with let's say video retention. And that's something that I really appreciate with these videos compared to my Call of Duty ones. Like, you guys are actually listening to me blabbering on and talking about like different random stuff, so I do appreciate that. But yeah, guys, thank you again so much. If you're new to the channel and you haven't subscribed as yet, please do subscribe, and feel free to place some comments down below and ways that I can improve these videos. If it's a case that you don't want me to speak as much, or you want like other type of content, just let me know, and I'm more than happy to trial out and test different stuff out. But I appreciate you guys' time, and I wish you guys a great day ahead. Their video's about to end, and yeah, speak soon. Speak tomorrow. Take care. Bye bye.